joined NAWIC, I'm not going to say it a stalemate, but maybe just getting a little complacent in my career. I mean, after 14 years, am I sick of getting dirty? Am I sick of the calluses on my hands? So there was things I was starting to doubt my path. And when I joined NAWIC, it gave me a newfound uh, appreciation for what I actually do and the impact that I can make in this industry, being a woman in construction.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Empowering Women podcast, where we celebrate bold voices, human fueled leadership, and the women who are actively shaping what's next. I'm your host, Shannon Bumgarner, and on behalf of Empowering Women in Industry and our amazing founder, Charlie Carruth, thank you for being part of this amazing community. Each one of you, you are the builders that keep uplifting women and making a difference in the lives of others. Today's episode, it's a special one because we are celebrating National Skilled Trades Day, a day that recognizes the makers, the builders, and the problem solvers who quite literally shape the world around us. When people talk about innovation and progress, they often think about technology or strategy. But behind every building, hospital, school, and home, it is the craftsmanship of skilled trades professionals whose work literally brings those spaces to life. And today, we are spotlighting one incredible woman that is leading that charge. Our guest is Rebecca Heustess. She is a certified tile installer and lead tile setter with Grazzini Brothers Company. And she is also the 2025 Empowering Women in Industry Tradeswoman of the Year. Rebecca's journey into the trades, it did not start with a master plan. It started with curiosity, hard work, and a passion for turning everyday surfaces into something beautiful and lasting. In this conversation, Rebecca shares how she found her confidence in the trades, the absolute power of mentorship and community, and why more women belong in this industry than ever before. So, what does it take to master a craft, to find your voice in a male-populated industry, and help open the door for the next generation of women in the trades? Well, Rebecca is proof that skilled hands can build more than beautiful spaces. They can build confidence, community, and lasting impact. So join me and let's get into the conversation. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Empowering Women podcast, where we celebrate the women who keep our world running, building, and thriving. And today for me is extra special because we are celebrating National Skilled Trades Day. It's a day that honors the makers, the fixers, the builders, and those problem solvers who literally shape our communities. And today's guest, I've had the honor to meet her in person, is the definition of excellence in action. I'm thrilled to welcome Rebecca Heustess, who is a 2025 Empowering Women Award winner for Tradeswoman of the Year. So from mastering her craft to leading with complete confidence and heart, she is proof that skill, grit, and purpose are a powerful combination. This conversation is going to be about craftsmanship, courage, breaking barriers, and why the trades are one of the most impactful and exciting career paths out there. So, Rebecca, I am so excited to have you here. Let's get inspired, get real, and celebrate the power of skilled hands and fearless hearts. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
I know you've carved out an incredible path in the trades. You started out as a lead tile setter, I believe, and then you become a recognized leader in the industry. But I love to start with people's stories, and I especially want to start with yours. So can you share your origin story? How did you fall in love with the trades, and what has the journey meant to you?
So I actually started as a helper. I wouldn't even have called myself a finisher.
Mm.
Um, I started not, I mean, the only thing I could do is read a tape measure from helping my dad over the years.
Mm.
So I worked my way up from that helper to finisher, and then I got tile setter. Recently, I've taken on the lead tile setter role, so I'm actually running my own jobs and my own crews. That's been really, really rewarding for me, and especially to see some of these people that I know I've mentored over the years with our own employees, and be able to see them starting to take the lead is very rewarding.
Mm. Yeah, absolutely. So did your dad help you fall in love with the trades, or how did you get into it? It's not
So,
something at least women right now intentionally choose. Not yet. We're working on it.
well, I started my career right after high school. I knew I didn't want to do a traditional college. I didn't know what
Mm.
I wanted to do. And so I felt like I didn't want to go and maybe waste money, not waste money for everybody, but
Right.
for me, it was. So
Yeah.
I started waitressing and bartending, and I was in the service industry. And I'd always, meet construction workers. And so I met these guys that were in flooring, and I had started
Mm.
off doing carpet, and I knew I didn't like that. I did that for a few years, and then I did some hardwood flooring for a few years. Another
That's rough
instant.
work.
Oh goodness, girl,
Yeah.
was it ever? I knew I didn't want to do that either. And when I met some tile guys on a construction crew that was on the road, and they said, well, do you want to try tile? And so I'm like, all right, how hard can it be? Well, let me tell you, it is not like carpet squares. So it was it was difficult to learn. It has been one of the best decisions that I've made throughout my life. And also being able to I've been into schools, talk to some younger gals and letting them know that there is a career in the trades out there for them. I mean, you can do the union trade schools. You can also go on to any job site and try to get an apprenticeship that way. So getting in the trades is so much easier than not only people think, but young girls. So that's been my
Yeah.
mission lately. And this step in my career is really getting that message out there and across.
Yeah, I've watched. My mom likes to watch the home improvement shows, so that the whole tile thing's a mystery to me. I'm like, how do they get this crap straight and it doesn't look wonky and everybody's happy with it? It's got to be a lot harder than it looks.
Oh, it's
um,
definitely harder than it looks. There's nothing light about our job generally either. Like the lightest thing we'll lift is a 25-pound bag of grout. Tile boxes are
yeah,
generally somewhere between 40 to 60 pounds sometimes. So
yeah.
they don't make it easy for us, that's for sure.
No, they don't. Well, I think this is probably the understatement of the year, but this is a field that's historically been male populated. Um, but there's got to been some moments early in your career that made you think, yeah, this is where I belong. I'd love to hear if you have a moment that comes to mind that you just sort of had an epiphany, like this is for me.
It was funny you bring this up. I was just talking to my boss the other day about it. I said, there's something about tile that when it just gets in your blood, it's in your blood. Tile people stay in it for the longevity.
Mm,
I think I was probably about 2 years in when I realized I wasn't asking questions anymore about how to make a cut, or I wasn't using a template to make the cut. I could actually use my tape measure. So once I realized that I was capable of this, because there was definitely times early in my career that I doubted myself and if this is where I really belonged. So I'm gonna leak thinking about it. But I mean, I was remember I was on a job, actually. We were in Fargo, North Dakota, and I was on that job, and I felt like this was the best choice for me. I said, this is definitely where I belong. This company is where I belong. This career is where I belong.
mm,
The moment was, I mean, to in a short way, just to say, when I learned I could make the cuts, again, learning how to
mm.
do the layout without asking so many questions. Just once I gained the confidence in myself is really when I knew this is
Mm.
where I was meant to be.
Learn how to make the cut, literally and figuratively, right?
Yes, absolutely. I like that.
Uh,
I'm going to use that
I
one
would
now.
steal that one. That's a good one to
Yeah,
steal.
I've definitely put it in my pocket.
Um, is there a moment that's made you laugh at just how surprising the journey can be? I'm sure sometimes you just had to laugh to get past frustration, or maybe there's just a moment that made you laugh.
I mean, it's a funny story that I could share that really
Yeah.
made me laugh. I was on a job. I was already at the lead tile setter status, but I was just on a job helping out. Where I was most useful on that job was grouting. I have no problem. I mean, when you're a helper or a finisher, you hate grouting, but once you're a setter, you're like, heck yeah, give me that easy job, right? So I was grouting these walls, and some guy walks up to me and said, "Oh, are you the grout girl?" And after the fact, of course, well, I think at the time I probably said, "No, thank you. I'm a lead setter." However I said it, and remember. But then after the fact, I'm like, "Darn it, that was my perfect opportunity. I could have just called him a labor boy." So
Yeah.
yeah,
Grout girl, I like that. I know he meant it as
right,
he probably meant it as a little bit derogatory, but I like that. I think you can steal
absolutely,
that one too.
absolutely, yeah. Yeah, so still to this day, when I'm grouting, if I go to a job and I'm just grouting for him, I'm like, "Oh, the grout girl's here." So I've definitely owned that one.
There's sweatshirts in your future. I like that one. I think that could
Yeah, absolutely.
merch. We've come up with two for
Or
merch
I
on
have
on
a
this
little.
call already.
It's not a trademark, but I definitely use it. It says grout is her glitter,
Oh yeah, I like that one too.
but the grout girl has to go on the back now. Now the merch has to start.
Yeah, merch has got to start. Well, you got it in your background right now, and I know you're deeply involved with the National Association of Women in Construction, or NAWIC, and I believe you're also in leadership roles now. How do you think those communities have shaped not just your career, but your confidence and your voice in the industry?
I mean, greatly. The impact that it has made on me is honestly immeasurable. When I joined NAWIC, I was. I'm not going to say it a stalemate, but maybe just getting a little complacent in my career. I mean, after 14 years, am I sick of getting dirty? Am I sick of the calluses on my hands? So there was things I was starting to doubt my path. And when I joined
Mhm.
NAWIC, it gave me a newfound uh, appreciation for what I actually do and the impact that I can make in this industry, being a woman in construction. Um, the leadership voice that it has given me. I am the chapter president. I'm a founder of the Dakota Prairies 394 in South Dakota. I am also very recently the Midwest region director. So that pretty much means I don't like free time at all.
I was
Uh,
gonna say you're like all the other women I've interviewed. They don't sleep.
Yep, I definitely don't sleep. I'll sleep when I'm dead. I have too many important things in life to touch in the meantime. So really,
Wow,
yep,
how did you
Naywick
come
is,
about? You said you're founding of your local chapter. Did I hear that correctly?
yep.
How did that come about? That's amazing.
Well, my nearest chapter was about 2 hours away from me. And so was trying, I was just going to have like a little happy hour gathering and just let the ladies in my area, it's a smaller town, to know about Naywick and that it was out there. And if they wanted to carpool with me, do you want to join Maywick so we can go take the trip once a month for the meetings? And then before I knew it, I had 16 ladies that said, well, we don't want to, drive to that chapter, but we'd have a chapter if you had it here. And that just gets my brain going. And I was like, well, we only need 25 ladies per chapter. There's 16 here. Let's run with this. And then we were one of the fastest chapters to ever be chartered in the entire organization. So that was a pretty proud moment for us. And we're going on our third year now. So, and we're only up from
That's
here.
fantastic. I love what you said. I think and I think empowering women is the same way. It's a community. Sometimes it helps you accelerate if you're already moving, but sometimes if you just feel like I'm stuck or I don't know where to go from here, it's a great those organizations are great communities to help get you out of the muck and figure out how to get forward.
Absolutely. I love empowering women just as much as NAWIC. When I'm at NAWIC events, I talk about empowering women and vice versa. And it's really beautiful now that you're starting to see these two communities come together. You see more NAWIC ladies at EW events, and
Yeah.
it's exciting to see. I don't know if I'm allowed to say, but I'm going to say it.
Yeah.
Edit it out if it's not allowed. But Charlie is actually coming to our WIC Week event next week to speak at our fashion show, which obviously was inspired by EW events. So
Yeah.
I'm very
That's
excited
awesome.
to share that. And another little fun tidbit is the fashion show. It's our third year during WIC Week doing this. And now some of the other chapters, not only in my own region, but across the United States, are adapting that fashion show for Wick Week. So it's been really fun to see it just grow.
Yeah. And it's fun and empowering women. And when she first said we're gonna do a fashion show, I'm an engineer by degree, and I'm like, you're gonna do a what? Like people, I don't know, I kind of cringed a little bit, even though I'm a girly girl. I'm like, wait, we've been trying to distance ourselves from this whole, women only care about shopping thing. But then it's so beautiful what turned out on the other side.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. And then to see how all these different chapters and whatnot are interpreting it in their own way and in their own light. We focus a lot on PPP for ours, but we
Sure.
also have companies like Troll Company and Relentless Rebel just showcasing some fun,
Yeah.
sassy side of construction. So that's really it's nice to watch it evolve.
Yeah, I'm gonna give really quickly Juno Jones boots a shout out. I have the Cherry
Yeah.
Bomb red boots, and when I wear them in the manufacturing facility, I get comments every time. When I'm at one of my company's facilities or when I'm at a supplier, I get comments every time, and they're super comfortable. So I'll put that
Yeah,
link
I
in the
wore
show
those
notes.
for 2 years, 2 years on the job site.
Oh,
I
have
mean,
you
that
really
was
the Cherry Bomb
and,
boot?
and I mean, they weren't my only sole boots that I wore for the 2 years, but
Sure.
the fact that they lasted 2 years, I mean, I was mudding, I was packing mud floors, and that's what finally did them in. But I just could not believe the quality of those
Yeah.
boots and how,
They're a
yes,
good
so
boot. I don't
highly
wear them as
recommend
much because
them.
I'm not in plants as much as I used to be. But if you're a woman out there looking for some good boots, Juno Jones all the way.
And they're stylish.
Yes, yeah. Mine are bright red. They get a lot of attention.
We're
Um,
not paid advertisers, just so everybody knows.
yeah, no, I'm getting no kickback from this. We talked about empowering women. I mentioned on the outset that you were the 2025 Empowering Women Tradeswoman of the Year. It's a huge, well-deserved honor. How did that moment feel for you? And kind of what is the first thing you said to your friends or your family when you left the stage?
Well, probably can't use the word I used. But I mean, I did not expect it whatsoever. I had been nominated in the past. I had nominated a couple of friends of mine, and they were there. So of course I'm rooting for them. I had no speech prepared. Looking back, and I'm like, man, I could have done so much better. I had an opportunity, and I think all I said, I was speechless. I'm like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. I said, I've been waiting for years for this, and I said, I know I've watched my friends win it, cheered for my friends, and I said to get to have this honor and be up here is all mine. I think something along those lines. And then I hear everybody's speeches after mine, and I was like, boy, I really bit the bullet on that one. But I mean, truth is I was so excited, so gracious, so humbled to be the winner that that's all I could feel in that moment was that excitement, and I have no regrets.
Yeah, well, maybe you'll get to give the award in 2026. Who knows?
Ooh, that would be super fun. I can
Yeah.
make up for it then.
Yeah, there you go. So let's talk craftsmanship for a second. We were talking a little bit on the outside, at least dancing around it. So for folks who've never seen a tile setter work, what's one thing about your craft that you think it would make them say, "Whoa, that's either harder or cooler than I thought"?
That's a really tough question. A lot of people the first time they really like to grout. So we did a little a meeting, like a hands-on thing, and so watching 15 different women tile or attempt to tile. A lot of them liked cutting the tiles. So
Mm,
people find that really neat. So I guess that's my answer. We use a diamond. And so it's like a tile cutter. So it's essentially like a
yeah.
giant metal board that the tile will lay underneath. And then that metal or that wheel, it was like a diamond wheel. So it'll just score. It almost looks like it scratches the tile. And you can just ping the top of that and it breaks in half. And everybody's like, oh, wow, cool. Like, I can't believe. So, I mean, you can cut a good tile, you can cut like a half an inch off of it. So that's always really neat for people to see. But
Yeah, well,
grouting
I,
is
I
that.
haven't experienced that one yet. I will say just watching it on TV, when you have, I don't know what you're gonna laugh. I don't know what the little plastic thing is called that they put in
A
the
spacer.
gaps. Spacer,
Yep,
thank you.
spacer.
And I'm like, how do they get that even? Like my brain, the engineer in me comes down. I'm like, how in the world do they get all those gaps even? And you don't walk in your kitchen, let's say, and look at
You
the
could never get
grout
them
behind the
even.
countertop. You know what I mean?
You have to get it as close as you can because not, I mean, it's a tile is a stone, and I mean, and it's never. If
Right.
a tile says it's a 12 by 12, it's probably a 11 and 3/4 by 11
Yep.
and 7/8. It's you do your best
But
to make
it
it look
feels
pretty.
like, I'm sure there's science behind it too, but it feels like such an art. Cause like when I go and look at the backsplash in my kitchen, everything looks so even. And I'm like, how do they even do
It's
that?
a puzzle. It's a
Yeah.
puzzle that we have to build, cut, and then put back together.
Yeah, I don't know how you do it. Especially some of the really, mine's pretty standard subway tile,
Some of
but
the
when you,
intricate layouts are ridiculous. That's probably one of the hardest parts about my job is you have to be good at mathing and layouts. Without that, you're not going to get very
yeah, the
far.
really pattern ones, like sometimes you see them on the floors, and I'm like, how do
Yeah.
they? That's sort of like upholstery. They got to match everything together. I'm like, that would drive me insane.
Yes, yes, it is. I have a little bit of OCD, so it probably helps that factor.
Yeah. Well, the path you've taken is definitely a trailblazer one. You've undoubtedly faced challenges that probably most people won't talk about. What was there ever a time when you just wanted to quit or were really frustrated, and either what or who helped you stick it out?
One of the times I definitely wanted to quit, I had some guys that run on a job site, and we were there for quite some time. It was a bigger job site, so I mean, I think we were 8 months in, and with probably 8 months left to go. And there was just a handful of guys that were, I mean, not harassing me, like, I mean, well, you know what? Absolutely, they were harassing me. Um, and I definitely tried to defend myself just by asking them to stop and then they would stop to my face, but then I'm hearing it. I'm in a bathroom and I can hear them in the next bathroom, and so I remember being in. I went like probably 2 floors down just to not be seen or heard, and I started crying.
Mhm.
And one of my foremen at the time just happened to go to the bathroom and just happened to like it was just almost fate that he ended up seeing me and hearing me cry. And he asked me what was wrong, and I told him, I said, this is just not for me. I said, I can't handle this. I can't be saying I'm not good enough. I shouldn't be here. I'm a girl, all the things. And so like you start thinking that when you're hearing it for maybe a week straight. And so the fact that I knew I had an ally in him is what made me keep going. He went to these people. It did stop after that. What happened behind my backs, I mean, I don't know, but I mean, on the
Right.
job site, it did stop, and so I felt I mean, I really did feel like that was that hard moment. If I could get through that moment, and I knew that I could count on my crew to have my back, then I would be all right. And
Mhm.
that foreman is still with our company to this day, and he's still one of my mentors. So I'd
Yeah, I
say
think
just
it is
having
so
the people
powerful. I
around.
think people try to make allyship this big thing, and it doesn't have to be. Typically, it actually isn't
Right.
this big thing. So I think if there's any male listeners out there, or if there are women listening, please forward this to the wonderful men in your life that just speaking up that one time, you listen to what Rebecca said. It really changed her willingness to stay in an industry that honestly wasn't built for her.
Absolutely, absolutely. I like to say that if we weren't built to do everything a man can do, we're built to do what a man can't do, and that's vice versa. We need each other as in a
Yeah.
partnership, whether you're on the job site or just in a friendship. I think that it goes both ways there.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, I think sometimes people think organizations like Empowering Women, I'll pick on that one, are man haters. I'm like, no. I love men. I have a lot of wonderful male friends in my life, and quite frankly, I wouldn't be sitting in the chair I'm sitting in without all the help from male and men and women I've had in my
Right.
career.
Mentors and sponsors, people don't realize, I mean, they are different, but they're still one and the same. And it's equally as important to have both of those
Yeah.
figures in your life.
Yeah, I love that story. Definitely, if you don't share that one often, do that's a good one. Um, my guess is there are a lot of misconceptions about women in the trades. Are there like one or two, or we can do a laundry list that you'd like to obliterate once and for all?
Um, Pretty nails.
I like that one. You can have nail polish.
Just because I have pretty nails doesn't mean I don't get them dirty.
Yeah.
The fact that when I say they say, oh, what do you do for a living? Oh, no, I do tile. I work in tile. They just automatically assume I'm the secretary. So I mean,
Oh.
then I'll have to say, no, 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 I do the work, and then they'll say, okay, bull crap, show me your hands, because they've obviously seen the nails, and then they see the calluses, and then they believe me. But
Man, you got to have battle scars literally for people to believe you.
right, exactly. I do have a few of those too, regrettably.
Oh, that's funny. Any other myths that come to mind?
I mean, that we can't have a soft side. I
Mm,
mean, I personally don't wear makeup to work, but I've seen a lot of women who are, I mean, if that's you and that's who you feel comfortable being and that's your skin, then own it, girl. I mean, I think that that's kind of a myth too. And I wear dresses and steel toes, stilettos
yep.
and steel toes. So
I love that. You can be a girly girl and be in the trades.
yes,
They are not,
absolutely.
they don't have to be one and the same. I love that. Is there any myth or that you like to poke fun at?
Um, I guess I'm not sure on that one. I I mean maybe if I sat and thought about it, but not off the top of my head.
I still like the grout
Do
girl
you
one.
have
You
a
got to
myth?
keep
Do you
that
have a
one.
myth that you like
That's
to poke fun at that we can poke fun at together?
um
Yeah, see, I switched the question a
yeah,
little.
I'm trying to think about what myth. Well, this is a little bit more engineering, but I think it applies to you that women are good at math. Um, I'm just like that. That's so not true. I may can't do basic math in my head, but I guarantee you I can keep up with any man that does math. Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
probably one that sticks out for me. And it sounds like you have to have your own mini calculator in your head when you're laying some stuff out.
oh, absolutely. Yep, you have to. I mean, and every layout is different. You might have three different tiles that are 12 by 24, but like I said, each sizing is going to be different, so it's going to be different every time. It's never across the board type of thing.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna end up with one question I love to ask. I love to ask the advice question when we wrap up. So, what advice would you offer someone, especially a woman or a young woman, who's thinking about stepping in the skilled trades, but they're just not sure, they're hesitating? What do you think you could say to inspire them to take that first step?
I mean, if we're gonna go young, I'm gonna say I'm gonna go into a high school and try to get that gal to want to join the trade. So I would give her the advice to take one summer, take an apprenticeship somewhere, just to dip your toes in and see if you like it. While you're on the trades, I dipped my hand in painting. I knew I didn't like painting. Had I
Mm,
thought about it or knew that I could have an ally out there, I would have maybe went to a different trade and said, "Hey, can I try this?" So my advice is don't be afraid to ask. You have an uncle, a brother, a cousin, someone you know works construction. Talk to them, reach out to them, try it for a few months and just see if you like it. It is really a great place to be. It is a great career. It's very
yeah.
rewarding.
Yeah, you get to see something. It's why I like manufacturing because you get to see something come together. There's a thing that comes out on the other
It's
side.
so satisfying. I walk into a room and it's, drywall and concrete, and I leave and it's beautiful tile.
Yeah.
And we like to say we're giving them a new car. It'll never look as good as when I walk away from it the first time.
Yeah. Well, Rebecca, where can folks find you if they want to follow you and follow your journey and all the great things that you're doing? Where can they find you?
I am mainly on Facebook, Rebecca Heustess. My profile is public. I'm an open book. Message me, email me. I'm always here.
Okay, perfect.
Thank
Well,
you so
thank you.
much, Shannon. This has been fun. I feel like we could do this again. We could
I
just
know
do
we
this
could. I
more.
know. We've had the chance to meet at a conference, not last year because I couldn't make it last year, but it's so good to see you again. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you
And
so
everybody,
much.
happy Skilled National Skills Trade Day. If you don't know anything about the skilled trades, go read about it. Thanks everybody for listening. I'll talk to you soon. Bye, everybody. What a powerful conversation with Rebecca. A moment from our conversation that really stuck with me was when she said this. Once I gained the confidence in myself is really when I knew this is where I was meant to be. I think that line, it captures something bigger than the skilled trades. It captures a moment so many of us experience when we finally step into the work that fits who we are. For Rebecca, that moment came with a trowel in her hand, transforming tile into something beautiful and lasting. But her story, it's about more than craftsmanship. It's about confidence. It's about community. And it's about that awesome power of seeing yourself in a place where you once weren't sure you belonged. On National Skilled Trades Day, Rebecca's journey reminds us that the trades, they're not just jobs. They are whole careers filled with creativity, precision, pride, and purpose. The beautiful buildings we all walk into, the, they all exist because skilled professionals put their talent, heart, and soul into creating them. And the truth is, the industry needs more people willing to pick up the tools and build something meaningful. If you're listening and you're already in the trades, think about how you can mentor someone coming behind you, just like Rebecca talked about in the episode. And if you know someone who might not realize the incredible opportunities in the skilled trades, please share this episode with them. Sometimes all it takes is hearing one story to help someone see a future they never considered before. When we open doors, we don't just change one career, we change an entire industry. And if you are looking for ways to connect with other women across manufacturing, construction, engineering, and the skilled trades, I highly encourage you to check out Empowering Women in Industry. This community is all about helping women grow, lead, and thrive in industry. You can explore membership, upcoming virtual events, and event in particular that I am especially excited about, which is the first Empowering Women in Industry Carolinas Conference. It will be held on July 9th in Greenville, South Carolina. It's an incredible opportunity to connect, learn, and be inspired alongside other women who are shaping the future of industry. We'll include links to the website, the conference, and upcoming events in the show notes. As we wrap up, remember the spaces we live and work in, they don't appear by accident. They're built by skilled hands, creative minds, and people who take pride in their craft. And as Rebecca reminded us today, more women are stepping into those roles every day, building not just structures, but new possibilities for the generations that follow. Women are the builders of the past, the present, and future. Until next time, lead human and ignite your fire within.